finally high. It's been a few days. Me and Ranger already went and got puppuccino and some coffee, and now just doing some laundry right now. I'm gonna hang it up and everything. And also I'm thinking of fabricating some stuff. I'll see what I can get to and what I have a good idea for. Let's see if I can do it. But yeah, I know this week might be a short week, but at the same time, I don't know, it might be a regular week. We'll see. Now, after getting more 10W30 for my generator, because I don't know, I think I just didn't fill it up enough, so maybe it takes a half of the container every time, and I'll figure that out. Now I'm gonna redo this, and I already got some paper out and some blue tape, and also a razor blade, so this should be a lot easier. What I've already thought of without using the paper, basically just make a outline with blue tape, and I just sprayed the whole area, and I tightly secured it to the corners of the outside edges of the lettering basically. But also I'll just pull it off, and then after that, whenever it's dry, I'm going to pull it off and also very delicately and precisely get all the black filled in. And I definitely think I can do that just with putting the blue tape, because I even just found it out, basically figured it out, I think. Put the blue tape over the letters and just use the razor blade and cut off the excess parts where the black should be, and then just spray that. And that way the blue tape covers the black spray paint from going on the bronze, and that should work. And I think this is a lot better of a spray job than last time, because on every edge it is all good. So I like that a lot more. So now I just have to wait, the thing I hate the most. That took forever, honestly, but now I think it's ready for me to go ahead, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another piece right here, a little bit right there. Well, actually, it's got some gold. I'm gonna put it right there on the yellow, right here and right here. And honestly, if it touches up these spots where the black got chipped off, basically, whatever. I'm gonna put a little right here on this though, I think, honestly, you know what? No, I won't. But I think this is gonna be pretty relaxing to finally have to wait again. now I think I have to wait till it dries, and then I'm gonna spray it again, because I just saw that the gold paint that I've already done, it doesn't really let it stick, the black spray paint over it, it doesn't really let it stick to it. So it gives a very minute thing, and I'm just gonna let it go over it, and then I'm gonna do it again, and then it should be good. Hopefully, we'll see. And if not, honestly, maybe a Sharpie. Sad, but that may work. And after 30 minutes of waiting, it's still wet, but what I've done, the easiest one to take off is I just took off the eye, and it doesn't look too bad really at all. But of course, this doesn't have the curves in it like the others do. So you know what, the easiest one to do, and hopefully, yeah, the easiest one I think will be the U. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll be right back. So I started taking it off, and what I just saw is there's some overflow a little bit on it, and what I'm going to do real quick is just basically get like something to dab it up a little bit to soak up the black spray paint, because I think I can still remove it a little bit. Yeah, a little bit, and take it up, and I'm going to take off the rest real quick. So I'll be right back. And good morning. What I'm doing now, since it's early in the morning, at like 8 a.m. right now, I am having to do and am going to do stuff throughout the day just inside, because it is raining sporadically, a little bit harsh. So yeah, I even made sure I put my inverter generator, even though the Champion 2000 watt is good, if it gets rained it's water resistant and everything, even if it's running. So, but I did just put it under the Skoolie, so there's no water getting onto the top. At really most, it could just touch the feet of it, so that's really not an issue. What I'm about to do though is I am about to attach some more 3M. I ran out of the squares, but I'm just going to cut some of this stuff and attach it to some extra lights that I just found in a container that I had when I was looking for some other stuff. Oh, and I also got some soup. All right, I'll probably see you guys when it's done. And I turned off the light, so it's done. All these lights are with the remote easily, but the extra ones are right here and right here, right here, and right there. Those are the ones I had made placed earlier, and I placed that one earlier. Those two I just didn't even bother taking them out and turning them on, because it's a little bit of I wouldn't say difficult, it's just I have to redo some stuff and it takes a little bit more time. Oh, and also I'll go ahead and show everyone what also I got a while ago is I have this, and I used some more 3M squares for this before. I just placed it, a compass, and also a sundial. So that's very nice. Oh, and I also went ahead to get that exact, and go ahead and turn, well, you know, I'm gonna leave it on for right now. Magnets are definitely your friend. So glad I got magnets. Yeah, it's just sticking there. But the 3M I also got is for right here. This compass right here, it's for driving and everything. Just for any directional issue or anything I have. It's that. And you can angle it differently, however you want. It's only like $9 or $10. But I have it like that, so I can just see. Oh, placed it. And that's pretty secure. That's not moving too much. I'm pretty happy about that now. Anyways, I'm gonna go turn off all these lights because I forgot to turn one off and it was on the timer setting. Or no, it was still on, but I turned it off with the remote. But the battery had died because I guess it just always is waiting for an on signal. So the battery's still on. So it died. So I'm turning all of these off. So I don't have to use any more of my spare candle batteries that I got, and only have 3 more out of the surplus that I got. So I'm gonna figure out some other stuff to do while it's raining a lot more. So good morning. Still good morning. Yeah, actually in 2 minutes it'll not be morning. But now I just got Ranger some more dog food and some Dentley's buffalo strips, which I'm sure he's gonna be very happy about. Yeah, it's a reward for him doing so well at all times. And I'm just in a good mood. So I'm going to use that, hopefully, and do some more. Because yesterday it was so rainy and everything, I really just couldn't do anything, and I'm still just planning out stuff. But finally got an allowance. So I'm going to be able to hopefully work on some storage stuff. We'll see what I can do. And like I said, I wasn't finished. So what I'm getting ready to do, just quickly before me and Ranger go and get some other stuff and do some other stuff, is just touch up this right here, because it's got basically a different contrast drip basically. So I'm gonna fix it real quick. So when it dries, I hope it looks a little bit more decent. But this clip is just getting ready to be a before, and you'll see after soon. I'll see you guys later. So real quick, I just used this black one and painted over basically a lot of this right here. You know what? I'm gonna do that real quick and show you guys. All right, I just did it, so it's still drying a little bit, but I've also done like little small spots right here, like scratches right there. And also I went around the very corner as much as I could get into it, and I just did stuff like right there at the bottom a little bit. You know, I'm gonna touch that up again like that. And I just did that. There's a little corner right there that was yellowish still, and then right there on the top, and then right there, and I just did all that. So I think that should work. And also what I'm getting ready to do and doing right now is just going around the corners right here and getting all the spaces where the tape was a little bit overlapping and an issue, and I'm getting inside like the curves and everything, so that way it looks more decent, I think. You know what, I'm just covering it up like that too, because that was a little faded and not exact. So what I'm doing is just making it more pop-outable. And you can see how it fills in slightly easier than me just having to do covering with tape and spray paint, etc., etc. So I think that's working. And also if I go too much, I can just use my finger and go off of it, and honestly just go to another black part that's actually dry and metal, and just rub my finger against it to get it off while it's still wet. So that's very good if I mess up. So that looks pretty well, I think. And you know what, I'm just going to show you guys the whole rest of me doing it, because I can't stop. And I'm going to just do this, and then after this I'm going to relax the Ranger, look up some stuff, and think about the utility hinges, and also using that spare countertop piece that I have already stained and everything, and also the spare other countertop pieces. So the big one, the medium one, and the small one, all 3 pieces, and then still leave my other piece to be a cutting board, because that's really good, I think. So I'm not going to touch that. Cutting board was a very good idea. But I'm just doing this and getting it more solid than it was before. And I think these cheap little paint markers were a very good idea, because that looks a lot better, I think, around the colors. So from black to copper, it's a pretty nice job. And I'm still gonna clean off this a little bit and clean off that a little bit too, because I just want those to be popping out too, because basically, well, that one's not popping, but that one, they're useful. You know what? There we go. I was wondering why. Yeah, that one's just stuck a little bit, but whatever. So I think that's a pretty good thing. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna empty this diesel into my Skoolie, and then I'm gonna rest and look up some more and study what to do. Now, after I emptied the 5-gallon 20-liter diesel jerry can into the Skoolie, it took a little while, but I think I should show you how it looks now that it's dry. Honestly, that doesn't look too bad really at all. And earlier I even touched up this just against the metal, and that doesn't look really that bad. And here's this. So quickly, it looks nice. It looks decent just for a touch-up, basically. So yeah, I don't think, yeah, there's not really much bad I can say about it. It did a pretty good job. And I'm back. What I've done so far is I decided not to, well, I did make stencils for it, but I also just decided to use those paint markers, yeah, and I finished it with the lettering that I got too. So I have a uppercase and a lowercase, and then I drew the logo as well. So that's pretty decent, I think. Now I just need to figure out how to have it so I can secure it to other places, some way of hanging it. So I'll look that up as well. All right, I might see you guys later. I think I'm finally back in my can't stop, won't stop doing things mindset. So what I've done is with rope and just burning the ends of it and everything and tying it as tight as I could, I think I've made a pretty good holder for this. So yeah, I think that'll work. Like I said, I'm in that can't stop, won't stop mindset. So what I'm gonna try and do now is start working and sanding all this spray paint to basically block out the labeling and everything from when I bought the bus, when it was still a bus. So I'm gonna try and start sanding it, and then I'm gonna see how that works and what else I can do. So what I've just done is I pretty much seen that it'll work very well with the spray paint and everything. This one will. And I also figured out I just need to chip away really the lettering and everything. Lettering over there, because that's all that was spray painted, was lettering and everything. So I'm just gonna chip that away. I'll figure out some good way and quick really to do that later. But like I said before, I'm gonna go ahead and touch that up. Maybe something a lot less abrasive than this one. Coarse, at least, sorry, a coarse than this one. And I think that'll be pretty easy. Actually, I think something like this, or this one over here. This one right here. It's basically halfway between the one that's on it right now and this stuff right here. So I think I'll try it at first and we'll see. That actually worked pretty well, I think. All it really did was it got rid of the shine and pretty much I would say most of the difference of basically where the drips and everything were, and it does look a little bit rougher and everything, like it should, honestly. But I just didn't get in between here like that, so it's still shiny right there. But I also did the top, but honestly I think that looks pretty decent. Actually, I'm really proud of that. So I'm gonna research some more, and yeah, do some more research and figure out some other stuff. I might see you guys later. We'll see if I get anything else done, or if I figure out anything else to do. Hey, good morning. Well, actually, good afternoon. Yeah, about an hour and 30 minutes. Good afternoon. What I've already done is I went ahead and filled my freshwater tank, and I got more water. And also what I've done is I went shopping and got a whole bunch of canned food and etc. So I mean, that's basically my diet now. But after all of that, really, I think I'm just a little bit tired, like at this hour, I guess. Maybe I'll see if I get better, or not better, if I get more ambition to do something today. But it's gonna be a little hot out, not too hot, but at the same time it's gonna rain today as well. So I'm just gonna relax for a little bit. I'll see what else I can do, or if I do anything today. And hey, how are you guys? So what I've started to do is, because I've looked it up and everything, use this little hand torch that I have, and I've started to try and get the lettering off. Some of the places right here, I try to scrape with my knife a little bit to get it off the lettering easier, but it just, paint just comes off that easy. So I'm gonna keep trying this, and if not, I'm gonna use the angle grinder and have the bristle attachment and just take all the lettering off that way. So we'll see what works. That was actually pretty easy. I'm glad I still had this butane hand torch. Yeah, and it just worked really well. All I really need to do is sand around the places, because underneath is just the bare paint of how the paint is supposed to look after being washed and buffed and everything. That's supposed to be how it looks, yeah. But it's just not. And right now I'm just walking around real quick and looking and seeing what else. Oh, right here is another label of the place and another numbering. So I'll do those real quick too. I want this done. that's it. It's all gone. And yes, I am going to touch up right there and get rid of that rust and just grind it up a little bit more so it's decent, so I can just paint over it and it's not an issue. Because I remembered that from a long time ago. I just never touched it up. But yeah, I'm still pretty happy with how that turned out, by the way. Looks pretty good. And I think it was a pretty good thing I still had that hand heat gun, basically hand torch. That really helped me get it all off actually pretty quick compared to people actually having days to do it. And I think it's only been an hour. So I'm gonna go relax a little bit and probably eat some food. I'll see you guys later. Maybe today, but definitely tomorrow. And good morning. Now that I'm waiting on a phone call from my bank because I have to fix an issue really, but also I'm just gonna go ahead and get all the outline and the spray paint that they added to basically cover the lettering. I'm just gonna go ahead and sand that off on each side. And this is how it looks now. Not that bad, honestly. And yeah, it needs to be cleaned up, and I might buff it up later to get rid of all of the markings and everything. But I think with that pad that I've been using, it's really working well. And yes, I know I still have some extra spray paint like right here and here and like stuff like that, but I'm gonna figure out a little bit because my sander is a little bit bigger than it could just fit easily in there, so it would be a little hard to reach in all those tight places. I still have the other side to do, but you know what, I'm gonna take a rest for like 30 minutes. I'll see you guys then. It's only been probably around 3 to 4 minutes, and I've been just doing stuff. I filled up the generator and also brought the cord over here and everything. And I started to think I should go ahead and do this, one, because it's going to get hotter in the day if I wait a little bit longer, and then two, I should just go ahead and do it because I have all the equipment out here and the sun's still out, so technically I'm not even using any electricity, so that's good. And then also I just want this done, and I'm going to touch up this probably, well, I'll think about it. But also I want to spend some time today because today's the last day of recording basically for this episode. But I want to spend some time today learning how to edit with this other program, so maybe it'll be better. But I'll doubt I'll get too in depth to it to actually use that program just to do this. But we'll see how it turns out. I'm gonna go ahead and do this though. And that's it. That's the last part. And yeah, that's got a little bit of paint that just chipped away really, or sanded away, sorry. But yeah, and it does need to be buffed up a little bit because it's got like excess dust like that's stuck to it really harshly, and I still need to get that right there. So I'm gonna try and figure that out real quick. So what I've done is used a lot harder grit little sandpaper attachment that I had, and I think that's pretty decent. And what I'm also going to do is use some rust remover that I have left over. I just gotta find it in my garage, I think, or with all my other stuff, but I definitely still have some. And I'll just spray it on there and then cover it up so it doesn't have any more issue. Now, well, after I get the rust remover, then I'm gonna rest and try and learn how to edit with that other program, and also just relax a little bit. And I found it in the third spot I looked, but the trigger squeeze is not working for the pump, or at least, so I just opened it up and just like kind of splashed it on there, so that should work. All right, now I'm going to turn the AC on and relax a little bit.